Hey friends, welcome to a new video over here at the L&M Creative Corner. Today's video is going to be a journaling setup of my October journals. It's going to be primarily just the one that you're seeing on screen right now, which is a particularly special journal. It's a little different because basically I'm going to be doing a one journal challenge this month, right, for my daily journaling. And I'll kind of discuss what that entails and why I'm trying it out throughout the video, over the footage of me decorating it and such. And then right at the end, there will be some additional clips that are similar to those two first ones that kind of show close-ups of all the spreads and what I end up doing. To get some housekeeping out of the way, the journal that I'm going to be using in October and then I'm going to be setting up these spreads onto is an A5 Moleskine journal with lines. So I couldn't find like a grid version of it. I have since spoken to some of my patrons and they say that there is a soft cover version of the A5 grid. So if I do end up doing this later on, then I'll look into that. But this one that I'm using is the lined version. And to talk a little bit about what I'm doing actually on screen, I'm currently just cutting bits and pieces from some National Geographics that my sister gifted me. They gifted me about 18 vintage National Geographics. The oldest one so far that I've seen of the pack is from 1928, which is really exciting. And these images, as I was going through them, just felt perfectly aligned with what I wanted to do, so I'm cutting those out. Another little thing is that throughout the video and more than likely at the end, when I do that last check-in, I will be mentioning some of the artists. Any artists and such that I discuss will be linked down below, so check out the description if you would like. And if I don't mention one artist that you are interested in, just comment and I will get back to you on that. I'll also be featuring a lot of my October printables, and those are available on my Patreon. So do check them out if you're interested in them. I will also post an image of them here on the screen so that you can quickly check them out and see if it's something that you would like to get. As you can see, this month there are 6 printables, and those are available for anyone in the Sweet Treats and the Secret Handshake Club. So do check that out. If you're interested, I'll leave the link down in the description as well. And with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the why and the how of this one journal for the month. So a couple of months ago, maybe late August, early September, I saw a video by Hungry Gal Studios where she did a 1-month book in astrology. And of course, there's like the one book July challenge. For me though, I know that I can't have like a true one book system because I need my planning and my journaling kind of separate. So I've never really considered the one book of everything method for that, let alone one book per month. And the idea of like bullet journaling and having to draw a bunch of spreads every time just it wasn't something that I was interested in necessarily. But that video by Hungry Gal Studios, it got stuck in my head and latched on for dear life. So around the same time that I watched that video, I was finishing up my morning pages journal as well. And if you follow me or subscribe to the channel, you'll know that this year I've been daily logging in the TN size inserts. For the first 2 quarters, I believe I was in a blank TN size insert, the Traveler's Notebook blank insert, and for Q3, I went into a sterling ink and 1 grid insert, which, by the way, I really did enjoy the smaller grid and had a lot of more fun in it than I really thought I would with like the Tomoe River paper. And as a quick aside, the plan for next week's video is a Q3 flip through of all of my journals that I used in Q3, which would be the Media Journal, the N1 Sterling Ink Common Planner, the Hobonichi Avec Cousin, and then the Q3 Traveler's Notebook insert. So if all goes well, that'll be live next week. But back to what kind of led to this idea of the one book experiment, right? I've been thinking about 2025 and the journal and planner lineup for next year, as most of us have and are. And while I have my planner and my functional system pretty much down packed, journaling and memory keeping, I'm still undecided and kind of like all over the place. So to top that all off, October is my favorite month. So all of that just kind of culminated in me deciding that I wanted to do this 1-month journal experiment. Whether I like it or don't like it, either way, I'll get some valuable insights. Since it's just journaling, there really aren't any real layouts that I have to draw in. I basically just found a way to transfer my existing system into one notebook with a few modifications. And before I get into how I'll be using the journal, I just wanted to take a moment to talk about how much I really like this cover page. That typewriter and the hand with the pen, I just thought it was absolutely perfect. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so that out of the way, how am I going to be using the notebook? So essentially, the journal is split in three parts. First thing I did when I first decided that I was going to use this journal was number the pages and kind of determine how I was going to split things up. Um, so I numbered the pages and did some calculations. Normally, one of the things I kept in mind is that I do morning pages and those take about 3 pages a day. And so I numbered that, kind of figured out how many pages that would take. And that is essentially the first half of the notebook. One of the reasons I kind of went back and forth between having it be morning pages, morning pages, daily pages for every day. But then I decided that since I do share these spreads on the internet, it will be easier for me to kind of have the morning pages separate and not embedded because I do not share my morning pages. That is a place that is just fully for me. I did get a question a couple of weeks ago. Over on Instagram, I posted a suggestion box asking if anyone had any questions. And the question I got from raindrop.journal was if I ever feel the need to censor myself in my planners or journals because I share them online. And honestly, for the most part, I don't. If I ever need to censor anything, I will put a post-it on it or blur it out, but I don't always do that. For the most part, I don't, but I also don't share things like, for example, my morning pages journal or my morning pages in general, because those are the one place where I can just kind of I don't show those to anybody, regardless the internet, real life. Those are just a place for me to kind of work through some of the things that I need to work through if I ever do. So those specific pages I don't, but the daily log usually is just things that happen during the day or just general musings. And for the most part, I don't find the need to censor that. But that was one of the things that I thought about when I was setting up kind of like the layout for this particular journal and deciding that I would have just a section in the front for the morning pages that I wouldn't ever need to flip through. Um, when I'm sharing them, right? And then, quick aside to kind of jump into what I am doing right now on screen, I've kind of flipped over into my media journal and just adding the little dates on, the weeks, the dates of the week. These particular stickers are part of the Patreon printables that I mentioned earlier. So if you like them, do check that out. But yeah, I'm just going to be kind of setting those in and then not really doing anything else with the media journal. I'm thinking for this month, I will probably do most of my kind of initial media reactions and such into that daily journal, and then I will transfer them into the media journal later on so that I can still keep that archive component to the media journal. So I did count all of the pages, like I mentioned, and decided that I would allocate the amount needed for the morning pages, considering that I do 3 pages every day. So I separated that out. And with the remaining pages, what I ended up deciding was that I would do 2 pages per day because I wanted to kind of try out a couple of things, right? I wanted to see how it felt to, bring media reactions, like I mentioned, back into the daily log. I wanted to see whether I liked kind of an hourly time block section. I'm going to be using a column for that and kind of seeing if that translates into a vertical system. I wanted to see how much space I'd actually use up if I use 2 days per page. And I wanted to see if I'd have some space for ephemera or for fan art in here to kind of consolidate the media journal and the daily log. I don't know yet 100% how I feel about that, but it is something that I am experimenting with here in this journal to see if I like it in the long run. Especially because it is just a month per journal, right? It eliminates the issue that I have with bigger journals where they kind of grow way too big. My major issue with the Paper Test B6 and having it all in one in the beginning of the year is that I was scared to put stuff in it because it would expand too much. So this being just one journal per month kind of removes that pressure and I can just glue in whatever I want, right? Because I'm not afraid that it's going to get so unbearable by the end of the year. It's 1 month and it's done. So I'm really trying to use this journal and kind of have it be a space for experimentation, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, and how that can kind of like transfer right into the systems moving forward for the rest of the month and more specifically for 2025. But then keeping in mind right here where I already accounted for the morning pages, and if you're looking on screen right now, I'm setting up the cover page for the morning pages. Um, but yeah, keeping in mind that I had the pages for the morning pages and for the daily log pages, which is 2 per day, I still had some pages left over. And so what I decided was that I was going to have those be kind of like a section for notes. And I did title that section Notes, Collections, and Stream of Consciousness pages. Say that 3 times over. Which I'm using essentially for whatever I decide and need them for. I'm going to be using Stream of Consciousness pages from the back front, and then I'll be using the front back for collections, miscellaneous collections, right? Really anything that I need it for. And so as I'm recording this voiceover, it's been a few days since I've started using it, and it really has been interesting and fun. I will, of course, post a flip in November explaining how it went, how the experiment went, and the overall experience. But if you are interested, just last plug, if you are interested in weekly updates, I do post weekly updates on Patreon, and there are a bunch of perks in addition to that. So if you are interested, again, do check that link down below. Tiers start at $4 USD, and you do get weekly video journaling updates. So if you would not like to wait till the end of the month to see how it's been going, do check that out. At the time of me posting this video for you guys to see on YouTube, the first journaling update with this one would have gone live. So that's the last plug for this video. Here you see me kind of practicing my writing for the morning pages cover. Another thing about this particular Moleskine is that it is one of those unicorns where I can use fountain pen ink and brush pen ink, and for the most part it doesn't bleed, so I'm really having fun with that. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for the voiceover portion of this video. I'm going to let it run for the rest of it. I do come back in later on and kind of explain and walk through all of the pages that I set up, so I will jump back in a little later, but for now, just enjoy the rest of it with some music, and I will catch you in the next one. Hey friends, so I just wanted to come in and give you a final walkthrough of what this looks like before I even start writing in it. So I did end up editing, or rather, I did end up setting some of the other pages off camera. Life got a little complicated and I was kind of getting in my head about it, so I just decided to do that off camera and then show you at the end of it. So I've already gone through in the other sections and kind of explained a bit, so I won't do that again, but I just wanted to go ahead and show you what it ended up looking like. So cover is the cicada sticker that I got from a Patreon reward from Flesh PNG, and then we go right into the opening page, which is as you saw, a combination of collage elements that I got from my sister's gift. She's gifted me a few National Geographics, and these two things were the first thing I saw, and they were absolutely perfect. Then came these. I put this as an explorer's paradise because this is an exploration of my life, essentially. And so I felt that it was very fitting. Beginning is in there twice. These are Ella is me. These are stickers from Aaron Ware's printables. So you can get those there. These little swirlies are from Courtney Diaz's printables. This is also from Aaron Ware. And then this is from, oh my goodness, an artist on YouTube and Instagram. This is a Patreon reward. I can't remember their name right now, but I will put it on screen and or in the description down below, so do check that out just in case. The rest of these, this one here, this little one here, those are my printables as well. So these are from my September printables, which are still available on Patreon if you go into the Sweet Treats tier and above. And then these little smaller circle ones are from October's printables, and there's a few in here that are from October's printables that I just wanted to highlight for you guys because those are available as of the 1st of October. So you can go in there if you, again, join Sweet Treats and above, then you get access to October's printables, and then you also get access to September and August's printables as well, because they stay up for the quarter. So this is the intro page, and then we go into this one, which is again an amalgamation of different stickers and such. And this is the index page, and then the intro page for morning pages. So just to reiterate how I'm going to be using this is basically going to be a stream of consciousness journal. It's going to involve my morning pages and my daily logs, and then any other kind of processing that I need to do will get also added in the back, kind of like backwards to forward, because there is a few extra pages in the back. But yeah, so this is the index page at the end. Once I finish the journal, then I'll go ahead and fill out this index page just to have it. Again, these are printables by Erin Ware. This is by Courtney Diaz, Erin Ware. This is a sticker sheet that I got from Sticky Club. This as well. These are mine. These are mine from October, and this is Beautiful Ollie from Hello Naya. Hey, Maddie. This is also Erin Ware, and of course, this is one of Courtney Little Raven Ink's monsters, which I thought was very appropriate for October. And so then we're gonna have morning pages, and I set aside 3 pages per day, which is what I've been doing, and set that aside. And then I set up my daily page cover sheet, which is this one. This is just a bunch of collage elements from different magazines that I thrifted recently, and then some of my own little elements from Patreon printables, and a little monster from Little Raven Ink as well. And then that'll start my daily pages. And I already set up tomorrow's page, because as I'm recording this, it is the 30th. So the month starts on a Tuesday. I kind of set it up. I'm struggling a little bit with the layout because it is very different from the TN. And you know what? It's maybe not that different from the TN. It's just a little wider. But yeah, I think I'm gonna take a little bit to get used to the layout of it. I'm gonna be doing my daily log on this side, and then I'm going to be doing just quotes and random little tidbits. If I have any images for the day, they will end up on this side as well. That's the plan, at least. I already drew in my margin for some of the days, but I don't want to do too much because I kind of want to make sure that this size margin is okay for this size of spread. It's going to be two pages per day. And so I went in and did that. And yeah, so I use my printables as well. These are from October. These are the same ones that you would have seen in the media journal setup. So something that I'm not doing in this video, or really for the rest of October, in the media journal, I just set up the dates, but I'm not going to be kind of decorating the center, kind of like I do here. What I decided I'm going to do, since I'm going to be using this for just daily log and I'm experimenting in that way, I'm just going to use this for fan art later on, kind of like I have been doing. I'll just fill it in with fan art after the fact. I'll just do my log continuously. But again, these are also my printables. These are my printables as well from September. But I just went in and added all of the dots. These are with washi tape, and the ones that I used here are with clear matte sticker paper. These are from the October printables as well. This is from Courtney Diaz, Little Raven Ink. And then I just did my pages. I already went ahead and numbered all of them. And I used a combination of my sticker sheets from Patreon and also some of Erin Ware's Patreon sheets as well. And so I have just a combination of those throughout, all the way through. So then back to a combination of mine. And these are the abbreviated versions. Did that, and then I used one of Erin Ware's, and then just some of my tiny ones, which you would have seen that already and towards the beginning of the journaling session, just for some variety. And that goes all the way to the last day of the month, which is the 31st. And then the idea is that this is going to be, I wrote down that I was going to do the cover, but I decided I'm not going to do that because I don't know how many pages in and of itself I'm going to need per stream of consciousness. But I do have that section, and what I'm going to do, I already set up my journal intentions, and then here will be my journal reflections at the end of the month. And then if I need to do any stream of consciousness outside of my morning pages, then I will do it from back to front. I think I mentioned it already, but just in case I didn't, I did number this back to front as well. And so I start with page 1 here, and then I end with page 190 here. And there are, I think, 194, but I did glue in some pages and decided not to count some other ones. So I also used some Erin Ware printable tabs up here. And then I'm using some Midori clips in the bottom for just tracking my actual current pages. So that is what it looks like. I'm really excited to be in this experiment and see how it goes. Based on what ends up happening with this one, that will really dictate what I end up doing with my systems in 2024. So it is a pretty important little experiment. And either way, whether I end up liking it or not, it'll be information that I can use to kind of decide how I'm going to move forward for the upcoming months / next year. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next video, which will very likely be the flip through of Q3. Yeah, and the next up after that will be the Techokaigi, and kind of seeing what ends up happening with all these journals. So thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.